Hi, I'm Jim Knox. Welcome to this special edition of the show. Today we'll be featuring remarkable reptiles, including Nile crocodiles, Komodo dragons, and one of the world's largest tortoises, my friend the Aldabra tortoise here. Reptiles rock. This amazing class of animals represents thousands of species around the world. These ancient creatures are true survivors. They're still going strong after 340 million years. They've withstood floods, ice ages, and even the occasional meteorite on their way to colonizing the planet's continents and oceans. What's their blueprint for success? Reptiles have a unique design including backbones, dry scales, and a body which changes temperature with the world around them. Reptiles are masters of conservation. They save their energy for when it's needed most. They take many fantastic shapes, including giant serpents and buffalo-hunting dragons. Today we'll learn about these creatures and many others. We'll even discover firsthand how zookeepers help an injured 500-pound giant tortoise learn to walk once again. Join us as we explore their world. Terrestrial habitats are dry land habitats, and you can't find land any drier than in the desert. These special habitats receive just a few inches of water each year and are strongholds for many reptile species. The thousands of diverse plant species which thrive in deserts have adaptations to hold water in and hold herbivores at bay. Like the animals that live here, they come in many shapes and sizes. Yet reptiles have colonized much more than deserts. They've even dominated islands. Meet the Komodo dragon. Ora is the Indonesian word for the Komodo. It means land crocodile, and it refers to their huge size of over 10 feet in length and more than 350 pounds in weight. By contrast, Gila monsters are mainlanders. They live in desert regions of America's southwest. Arboreal reptiles live in trees. Let's meet some. As hatchlings and young dragons, Komodos take to the trees to avoid predators. This keeps them safely out of range from hungry adult dragons, which are always scouting for prey. This forest cobra is highly arboreal. He's checking out his family tree. Forest cobras are super snakes which travel in arboreal as well as terrestrial and aquatic habitats. Aquatic habitats are water habitats. They may include streams, rivers, lakes, swamps, ponds, estuaries, even the ocean. Incredible varieties of fish live here. And so do predators which hunt here, like massive and secretive green anacondas. Since animals must drink at the water's edge, these snakes often lie in wait for prey in shallow water. Their next meal is never far away. With their webbed feet, waterproof scales, side-flattened tails, and streamlined bodies, crocodilians like the false gharial are designed for an aquatic life. False gharials are truly amazing. Let's check in with another water-loving reptile. Komodos can do it all. Are you sensing a pattern here? They can run throughout their island homes, climb into trees high above, and swim up to 6 miles out to sea. These habitat kings thrive everywhere they go. Tortoises and turtles have shells covered with scales called scutes. Their backbones, ribs, and hip bones are built right into their shells. These shells grow as they grow, and they can't climb out. Claws, 4 legs, and a long slender body with a tail are classic lizard traits. Nile monitors like this one may whip their tails in defense. Snakes have tube-shaped, legless bodies packed with muscles and covered with scales. This design works for burrowing, crawling, climbing, and swimming. Caiman and other crocodilians are heavily armored, streamlined reptiles, which often prey upon fish, amphibians, and other reptiles which dwell in or near the water. The classic question we get all the time about alligators and crocodiles is, what's the difference? We've got an awesome opportunity here at the Philadelphia Zoo because we have an American alligator side by side with an American crocodile. American alligator over here will cooperate. It's going to come on over. We're going to see that this animal has a very rounded snout, almost an oval-shaped snout, and it's a very robust or large, rounded look to it. When these animals get larger, they're very dark. People think they're green. They're actually almost a grayish, blackish color along the back and a creamy color normally along the belly. The animal has heavy plated scaling or scutes all along its back and down its tail. But again, a very rounded look to the snout, and the teeth fit together very well. The American crocodile on the surface looks a lot like the American alligator. Let's look closely at some of the differences. This guy has a really triangular snout. Not only that, but if you look at the animal's coloration, many species of crocodiles retain this sort of light and dark patterning as they get older, and American alligators lose that. This guy here, relatively light with dark patches, and again, this helps to camouflage it. It's really going to help it to sneak up on its prey. Another thing we want to notice with the animal, American alligators, American crocodiles, every crocodilian in the world, they all have to lift their heads out of the water to swallow. Why? Because they don't have lips. They don't have lips to block the flow of water, and they do have a valve in the back of their throat that blocks the flow of water, but they don't want to be taking in all the water around them every time they gulp down a meal. So they're going to grab their meal, rip off a hunk, depending upon how large it is, lift their snouts out of the water, let the water drain out, and then bolt it down in a big hunk. Their stomach acids do the rest of the job because these guys aren't big chewers as much as graspers with those teeth. The stomach acids, the most powerful of any animal with a backbone, they help digest the food. And before he loses interest, let's see how he does it with a trout. Hear those jaws snap shut? Tremendous closing power on the jaws. Estimates put crocodile and alligator closing power with their jaws in the neighborhood of a ton for a large male, depending on the species. So we're talking about incredible force.
Reptile scales are hard, dry body coverings made out of keratin. They serve to protect the animal. They're found on the outer layer of a reptile's skin called the epidermis. Like a mammal's fur or a bird's feathers, they're shed and replaced over time. Gila monster scales are called bead-like scales. Their bright orange and black scale patterning warns other animals of their venomous ability. Beware! In nature, venom equals injected poison. Many reptiles like this rattlesnake use venom to catch their prey and help to digest it. This copperhead is another great example. Rattlesnakes, copperheads, and other vipers use their heat organs known as pits, located by their nostrils, to find warm-bodied prey. These pits can also gauge distance and direction.